Hey everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Music Reactions. This week has been an interesting journey for us as we have been taking a look at some of the great female vocalists of our generation. We've seen some from country music, some from hip hop, rock and roll, just a complete different variety. And I put up a poll asking you to vote on who should be the final female vocalist that we check out today, which is Friday, for the end of the week of female vocalists. And so far, as of right now, as I'm checking the poll results to decide who to do it on, the one that's getting the lead is Jansen. And this is an artist that I am not familiar with, never heard of before. And so shout out to Ryan T 3600, who was the first to recommend Jansen. And so I did a little research, looked her up on Google, and Jansen was born February 21st, 1981, and she's a Dutch singer and songwriter, and she is the third and current lead vocalist of the Finnish symphonic metal band Nightwish. Now, I have heard the name Nightwish, but I'm not sure if I've heard any of their music before. I don't recognize right off if I have heard their music. It's just been in passing, and it's not sticking with me in my head. But I do love female rock vocalists, and so let's go ahead and check her out today. She started out as the lead singer for a symphonic metal band After Forever when she joined the band at age 16 in 1997. And then the band disbanded in 2009. Then she formed a new group called Revamp, released 2 albums with them, and then she went on to collaborate with some other groups and ended up becoming a member of a progressive metal supergroup called Star One. And so she's done several albums with different groups, and her newest project came out in 2023, and looks like it's a solo album called Paragon. So I thought we would check out some of her most current stuff, and so I looked up the album Paragon, and I found the first track off of that album is called My Paragon, and it's on YouTube. And if you go over to the description, there's a link to the video, and you can go ahead and watch it and listen to the song in its entirety without interruptions. But we're getting ready to, right now, take our first listen, or at least my first listen, to the song My Paragon by Jansen. And in her description of the song on the YouTube video, she says, "The lyrics of this song remind us to pause, appreciate our achievements, and be proud of who we've become. The album title signifies the courage it took to finally embark on my solo journey. This empowering anthem encourages you to embrace your dreams and look to yourself as your own paragon. Enjoy the song, and thanks for your support." And so this album was released on March 24th, 2023. And once again, if you go through the link and check out that video and go down to the description on it, there's a link on it where you can order the album as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and check this out. Jansen singing My Paragon, the first track off of her 2023 album, Paragon. Ooh, nice.
Every day's a chance. Life is like a wicked dance. Every day is yours. Always wanting more. I'm already there.
Okay. Now, the way this is starting off, it reminds me of something that you would hear on Eurovision. It's got that that type of pop sound that is kind of like the modern ABBA sort of sound. You've got the synthesizers that you can hear in the background. The kind of techno beat that's under the surface. It's not overbearing like a lot of techno music is, but you can hear the way that the drums and just thumping really subtly in the background, and so it's got kind of that pop sound, and that's sort of something different than I would expect from somebody who is known as a progressive metal singer, and her voice is kind of soft, and it's not really a real soft like Alison Krauss sort of thing, and ethereal, but it's almost like the Corrs sort of thing. If you're familiar with the band, the Corrs, it's kind of like their vocalist sound. It's like a pop sort of thing, and so the lyrics so far: one day I will be, one day I will reach it all. One day is a dream, but one day is today. And I like that message that you have dreams and you reach for the stars, and you set goals for yourself, and you say, one day I'm going to accomplish this. One day I'm going to achieve that. But she's saying, one day is a dream, but one day is today. And so the message I'm getting from this is, don't just leave it in the future. Don't just say, I'm setting this goal for the future, and someday I'm going to reach out and try to achieve this. But I'm going to reach out and make it a reality today. And I think that's a positive message for anybody in this world that aspires to accomplish anything. You don't want to say, one day I'm going to do this, or one day I'm going to do that. Let your someday be today. Scriptural wise, it talks about salvation being, don't wait till tomorrow to make that decision. Today is the day. Now is the appointed time. And so it's more of a general sense that she's singing about accomplishing goals that you personally set. If you have dreams for yourself of being a singer, as I assume is her goal that she's been reaching for. And she mentioned in her comments that her goal was to do her own project and to do these sort of things. And so she's saying, instead of saying one day I'm going to do this and someday I'm going to work toward accomplishing this, she put her nose to the grindstone and put her pedal to the metal and said, I'm going to work on it right now. I'm going to make it happen. And then now, as she's releasing this song, she's saying, someday is today. I have achieved it. And now the thing after that is, once you've achieved that goal, set a new goal and start reaching for it. Reach for the stars. If you don't set a goal that lofty and high that seems unattainable, then you'll never accomplish anything. So don't be afraid to set high goals for fear of not being able to reach them. You want to set goals that are achievable so that you're not constantly disappointed thinking that you're a failure. But at the same time, set goals that are a challenge. That way you are reaching for something that propels you forward. And then when you achieve that goal, then set a new one and keep moving forward. So I like the message so far. Sounding good. Okay, so that little guitar there, nice sound to it. The tone quality of it is, once again, reminds me of that synth pop sound. She started off soft with her vocals and then slowly build with the subtle drums in the background. And then, as we picked up there, you notice the music started to kick up and then built into the chorus. And then when you go into the second verse, then suddenly you're in full band mode, moving forward with your steady rhythm. She's singing the chorus here, look at me now, my Paragon. Oh, my dream is now my Paragon. And as she said in the comments, she is her own Paragon. Now, this is where it starts to get into a gray area where I think, it can be a healthy attitude. But if you take it to an extreme, it can be an attitude that can be detrimental to yourself as well. You want to be proud of yourself. You want to, think highly of yourself. But at the same time, you don't want to think too highly of yourself. We all need to have role models in our lives that we look up to. And it's important that we have a positive self-image and not a negative one. But at the same time, you don't want to be so obsessed with yourself. I think of people getting into the entertainment industry in particular. That sort of thing is where you become famous. You become, your head starts to swell and you start to think more highly of yourself than you really are. And it goes to your head. Basically, you become full of yourself and start to think, I'm a superstar. I commented a few weeks ago, did a reaction, maybe a month or two ago, on the new movie coming out, Maxine. It's part of the X trilogy. And the storyline in that is about this girl that is wanting to be a superstar, and she's wanting to be world famous and for everybody to look up to her. And the prequel, Pearl, the girl in that story, played by the same actress but a different character, had the same lofty goals, and it ended up being her downfall when she couldn't achieve those. Spoiler alert, it turned her into a character that, let's just say without too much spoilers, ended up being a threat to herself and to others around her because it just became a psychosis. And so you don't want to let things get too caught up in your head. You don't want to get too obsessed with yourself and, dwell too much on being a superstar per se. But you do want to set goals and, try to accomplish something with your life. Not necessarily just for your own self-aggrandizement or your own becoming somebody fantastic or spectacular or famous that the whole world admires and looks up to, but somebody that you yourself can look up to. And those, even if your sphere of influence is only on a small community of people, if it's just your family and your small community of neighbors that live in your vicinity, that when people do remember you, they remember you as somebody that isn't just somebody that was famous, somebody that was really well known and accomplished something big, but somebody who meant something to them, important. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a superstar. You can be a superstar to your own little world, to the few people that you do know. And it's more important sometimes to be a powerful influence on a small group of people than to be this well-known universal name that the entire world knows. But when people look at you, they don't see anything truly spectacular deep down inside. And it's only superficial on what you see on the outside. And so it's being your own paragon, as she puts it here, being your own role model, being your own greatness, so to speak. I'm not thrilled about that message because I think we need to look outside of ourselves and not to just dwell on ourselves and make ourselves be the center of the universe. It's important for us to recognize that we are not the center of the universe. We may be the center of our own life. It's my life. I am my own universe. But to expand that to the world around us and to realize that big picture wise, in the great scheme of things, we're just a blip. Our lives is just temporary, and that's where my faith comes in. For me personally, I believe it's more important than making my huge mark on the world, as sometimes I aspire to do through my music, through my reaching out with this channel and the things I do here, to reach out to a broader audience and a larger universe outside of myself. At the same time, I am just a small part of it. And I think it's healthy to have that balance to where you do have a positive self-image, but at the same time, you don't think too highly of yourself and take yourself too seriously. And so The message of this song, I think, can be taken positively, but just like the old song, who was it that sang it? I think it was Whitney Houston, sang "The Greatest Love of All." The greatest love of all, she sings, is learning to love yourself, and I completely disagree with that. I think that's a horrible message. The greatest love of all isn't learning to love yourself, but it's learning to love your neighbors as yourself, and to love even your enemies and those that persecute you. The message of the Bible and the message of Jesus is not to love yourself so much, but to the love that we naturally have for ourselves, that we protect our own body and our own spirit, and we want to feed our stomachs and provide things for ourselves that we need to get by from day to day. The important thing is that we reach out and help try to provide those things for others around us. And the same way that we naturally try to take care of ourselves, we do the same thing for others. That is truly the greatest love of all, is learning to love somebody else as yourself. And so you may think of yourself as your own paragon, and in a sense it's positive to have that self-image, but at the same time you don't want to take it too far. I don't want to dwell too much on it. I think I've pretty much covered what needs to be said about that. So let's move on to the next part of the song. Okay, and once again, today I can be, today I have reached it all, today is my dream, the center of my life, I'm already there. And once again, I'm a little bit concerned about that concept of I am the center of my life. I don't want to be the center of my life. I want to, naturally we are. We're born the center of our own lives. And I think what causes us to be truly great is when we get beyond that, when we are no longer the center of our own lives, but we realize just how small we are in the big scheme of things. Musically, she sounds great. Great voice. Nice pop sounding song. Very solid. Well produced. This is a song I could hear as a competing song on Eurovision. See it as it is. Nice pull back to the soft piano. Okay. Very cookie cutter in a sense, where the song reminds me of something typically that you would hear in the Eurovision style of song. It's enjoyable if you like pop music. This is a good entry into the pop genre. Her voice, it does remind me of Amy Lee a little bit, where I think I would enjoy listening to her singing as lead singer of a metal band, and hear just how strong and powerful she can let her vocals come out. This right here, I get the impression is more pop sounding than perhaps was suggested by her background. And so I would be interested in checking out some of those in the future as well, to see just how versatile her voice is. So she's got a good voice, a great voice. She's got a strong voice. She's able to sing the soft parts and then belt out the other parts as well for the strong section of the song. And as far as the theme goes, the music, I mean the lyrics, it can be very positive and reinforcing for somebody that has a low self-esteem and low self-image. So I think this can be a positive message to help people to have a positive self-image. But once again, that concern is always there, just like in the Whitney Houston song, that people may take it too far and think not only do I need to have a positive self-image, but I need to have more of a I need to think more of myself than is really healthy. And it can be detrimental to your interaction with society around you if you think of yourself as better than them. You don't want to think of yourself as being better than your neighbors. You are a special person. You are created in God's image. You are created unique. You are special. But so is everybody else. Your neighbor next to you is just as valuable, just as unique, just as important a member of society as you are. And where you need to have positive self-esteem about yourself and not be constantly putting yourself down, but realizing that you are here for a purpose and that God has made you. God didn't make no junk, as they say. God created everybody with a special purpose in their life. And it's up to us individually to find out, what is my purpose? What am I here for? And we can all achieve our greatness if we just realize our value in God's eyes, that we are valuable, we are important, just like everybody else is. Not to think too highly of ourselves, but to put ourselves in situations to where we are servants to the rest of the world, to those around us. And, as the Bible says, those who put themselves first will be last, and those who put themselves last will be first. If you think too highly of yourself, you're going to be humbled. But if you come to the situation with thoughts of humility and realizing, that the world is much bigger than you, and you are here to be a servant to the world and a servant to God, then God will honor that, He will bless that, and He will promote you to higher greatness because of your humility. And so I think we can all be paragons in that sense, that we can grow to be special and to accomplish great things if we have a healthy understanding of we are special, we are created in God's image, and we are created for greatness, but not necessarily to think of ourselves higher than we ought to, and to always think of ourselves with humility and with a desire to serve our fellow man. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you for recommending this artist. I'll be checking out more of her in the future, particularly some of her stuff with the band, and hopefully that will give me more of an idea of her versatility. From what I've gathered from this song here, she does have a great voice. As I said, the song itself is kind of cookie cutter, but that's what you expect from pop music, this particular style, the Eurovision style, as I would call it. And it's enjoyable. And so those of you that are more familiar with her, go ahead and comment down below if you know of any specific songs that I could check out. Name the name of the band that she sang it with and the song title, and be specific so that I am reacting to the right song and video. But anyway, thanks again for watching. If you have any more suggestions for artists and songs, as always, go ahead and comment those down below, and when I react to something that you recommended, I will give you a shout out in the video in which I do my reaction to that song. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Be sure to check us out Monday through Friday as we put out new videos of the Lightside Music reactions. Every once in a while, we also throw in a reaction reviews where I react to TV and movie trailers and that sort of video type content. And every Sunday afternoon, pretty much at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we go live for Muck Club, where we do fast food reviews and mukbangs. Anyway, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so that you know when we do add new content, when we go live, and when we add polls asking for you to vote on situations like this, on which song to react to and which artist, then you will have the opportunity to participate in those as well. So if I didn't react to the artist that you recommended, feel free to continue to make those recommendations, and keep watching, because eventually I will most likely get to that artist that you suggested. So anyway, without further ado, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Light Side Music Reactions. Bye, everybody.